Hello, and welcome to the Football Dudes Extranomical Fantasy Show. He's
Yep.
Dave. I'm Casey, and it's time to talk a little fantasy.
Casey, can you live this fantasy life?
Dave, it's not reality, it's just a fantasy.
Ow!
All right, baby, the season is winding down, but it's still so much fantasy to be played. We have a 12-team league. We run it through NFL.com, non-PPR, no flex, three wides, two running back, and 6 points for the touchdowns by the quarterback as it should be, but only five bench spots. So you're churning and burning, baby, making tough decisions week in and week out.
Yeah, and Casey, and the waiver wire is moved to last after claim never reset, which means when you make a claim, your team goes to the back. If you don't make a team, then your position goes up, up, up. That way, you just take a free agent once in a while, your position goes up to the top. Then when you really want somebody, that waiver position's there for you, man.
Dave, actually, we have a super competitive league, but actually some tasty names on the wire this week.
No doubt about that, Casey. Let's take a look. It is Big Ben and Jameis Winston in the quarterback column. No doubt there. Winston with a big opportunity. How about running backs? Carlos Hyde, Salvan Ahmed, J.D. McKissick, and Lamichael P. Ryan. And then at wide receiver, Marquez Valdez Scantling and Cole Beasley.
Dave,
Pretty
you
good.
got to say it like Tessitore.
MVS.
There you go. All right, man. As we mentioned, it's tough, but we're running you through
Uber
the names that are
tough.
left on our league. So, Dave,
Yeah.
hit me with the quarterback.
Yeah, I like Matt Stafford this week. First of all, he's had 20 points or more in 3 of the last 4 weeks. He has got a banged up thumb, so it's one of these deals where you really wanna make sure you're comfortable with him, and he's gonna go. But he did practice, though limited, on Thursday. So looks like he's a go, and Stafford's gonna put up some big numbers for you.
Yeah, dude, I was going to give you Derek Carr, but after that clunker he laid on me last week, I'm going to go with Alex Smith. He's been implanted
Nice.
as the starter there for Washington football team. Looks like he's finally getting the groove again, and it's just hard not rooting for a dude like that, man. Class on and off.
Totally. Agreed.
All right, brother, give me a running back.
All right, I'm going to go with Kalen Ballage for the Chargers. Last week, he wasn't a Charger officially, in fantasy at least, until like right before kickoff. But Kalen Ballage has gotten the bulk of the work the last 2 weeks, scoring 14.4 and then 10.2. And this week, going into this week, Anthony Lynn, Chargers coach, said he will serve as the quote primary back. So they're going to want to run the ball against the Jets. Simple as that.
Yeah, dude. And last week I made a move to pick up DeAndre Swift, and today he pops up or on Thursday with a possible concussion. He's in the protocol. If he is going to miss that game this weekend, go ahead and pick up Adrian Peterson. It's weird to
Yeah.
think that he's on the scrap heap, dude, but
Yeah.
this is 10 years later, and he's still going to get in there and beast against that Carolina defense, bro.
Yeah. No doubt.
All right, receiver.
All right, I got Michael Pittman. Obviously, Pittman's been coming along lately for this Indianapolis Colts team. He had 101 yards last week and a 21-yard rush, so put up pretty good numbers. Didn't get into the end zone, but you know what? He was unhealthy in a rookie, and it just took him a while to find this groove. I think right now they're really getting him involved a little bit more. So look for Pittman to be a big role player coming, moving down the road here, and certainly maybe this weekend.
Yeah, dude, I was shocked to see him on the free agent scrap
Yeah,
heap there. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Willie Snead. This guy's coming on about the
sweet.
last month of the season. Baltimore is still in search of that guy, that go-to guy. He did pretty
Big
well
time.
last week against the Patriots, had a couple of TDs in that frozen monsoon up there. So look to him to do a little bit better, maybe get healthy against that Titans secondary.
Big time.
All right, brother, what about a tight end?
I'm gonna go Hunter Henry versus the Jets. He scored a touchdown last week's game. Obviously, the versus the Jets theme is coming into play here. I just feel like Hunter Henry is probably available in half or maybe 2/3 of the leagues out there. He's been on and off rosters. If he's available, look for him to have a pretty good week.
Yeah, dude, and I'm going to go ahead and go with Logan Thomas. I talked about Alex Smith as a quarterback. Might as well
Yeah.
stack these guys here. He's been one of the favorite targets of Alex Smith. He has like 20 targets in the last couple weeks and had some nice production last week. So going up against Cincy, Logan Thomas might do you some solid work there at the fantasy tight end position.
All right.
All right, Dave. Good luck here, bro. What about the defenses? Slim
Yeah,
pickings, dude.
yeah. Well, I'm going to go again with the same old theme versus the Jets. It's the Chargers defense, but there's also a little something going on there. Bosa comes back. He's missed 2.5 games out of the concussion protocol. They have a pass rush when Bosa's on the field. They don't when he's not. And then you've got Chris Harris Jr. at corner coming back. He's since week 3 an ankle injury, so he's back in the mix. Look for that Chargers defense to be tightened down a little bit and maybe get something going against that Jets squad.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots here, playing the Texans there. Texans
Yeah.
banged up at the running back position. They moved on from Hop. You still got to watch out for Deshaun Watson. He can do you dirty like that. But I like the way that Patriots defense has been playing, especially in some of the marquee matchups. So,
Yeah.
it's late in the season, man.
Still
Won't you?
Bill Belichick, right? Come on.
That's right. Hey, Dave, got a viewer question for you. Kaz from Venice wants to know, does he have to worry about starting Tom Brady against the Los Angeles Rams defense on Monday night?
Ooh, well, that Rams defense, we talked about how good they are. Um, on the Trend Zone podcast, Casey, and they are one of the surprisingly across the board solid defenses. So there is a little concern there. I think when you've got a guy that's playing well like Tom Brady has, obviously the one off week in there, but for the most part, has put up really strong numbers. Unless you have a really good alternative, you're just going to have to play him, even though the defensive matchup's a tough one.
Hey, if you guys have questions, we have answers. Hit us up on Facebook in the comment section. Get little clickety clack in there. We're going to do our best to answer all the
That's
questions
right.
we can. And make sure you subscribe to the Trend Zone podcast. Each and every week of the NFL season, we talk the top trending stories, tons of fantasy, survivor, and preview some of the top games in the NFL. That's the Trend Zone podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Or Casey, just head on over to footballdudes.com. We got the Twitter gallery there where you're loaded with information that's
So
going to help you
good.
dominate your fantasy league.
All right, that's going to do it for the Football Dudes Extranomical Fantasy Show. May your fantasy and reality meld into one extranomical football weekend. We'll catch you next week.